Hey, what's up? It's your boy Crypto Rock, back with For Crypto Culture. Today, I want to talk about the U.S. economy and recession. Are we ready for it? Are we going into it? How can you prepare? Are you recession proof? Let's talk about it. Now, let me start off by saying none of this is financial advice. This is only my thoughts and opinions that we're putting in on video. Hopefully, it'll give you a little bit of entertainment, but information, education at the same time. So I want to talk about recession. I want to talk about a couple of different things. So let's get right to the website. So let's get to the meat of it so that we can all have a thorough understanding, and then we can dissect it and break it down.
A growing number of forecasters now think a recession is on the horizon.
According to Forbes.com, a recession is a significant decline in economic activity that lasts for months or even years. Experts declare a recession when a nation's economy experiences negative gross domestic product, rising levels of unemployment, failing retail sales, and contracting measures of income and manufacturing for an extended period of time. During a recession, the economy struggles, people lose work, companies make fewer sales, and the country's overall economic output declines. So what causes recessions? There's 6 things according to Forbes.com. It's a sudden economic shock, excessive debt, asset bubbles, too much inflation, too much deflation, and technological change. 2 things that I want to focus on is too much inflation and then excessive debt. Inflation is a steady upward trend in prices over time. Inflation isn't a bad thing, but excessive inflation is a dangerous phenomenon. Central banks control inflation by raising interest rates, and higher interest rates depress economic activity. When interest rates are higher and it's harder to get loans and you may be unable to pay a debt, it leads to a loss in a lot of different ways. And so sometimes individuals can take on excessive debt. When individuals or business take on too much debt, the cost of servicing the debt can grow to the point where they can't pay their bills. So how long do recessions last? From 1945 to 2009, the average recession lasted 11 months. Over the past 30 years, the U.S. has gone through 4 recessions. COVID-19 recession, the most recent recession, began in February 2020 and lasted only 2 months, making it the shortest U.S. recession in history. The Great Recession, that was December 2007 to 2009. That was during the Obama presidency. The Great Recession was caused in part by a bubble in the real estate market. That drop in the real estate market came from banks that were lending or giving loans out to consumers knowing that they couldn't pay it back. Crazy, right? Then there was the dot-com recession. At the turn of the millennium, the U.S. was facing several major economic problems, including fallout from the tech bubble, crash and accounting scandals at companies like Enron. I remember that. And they bailed Enron out. Another story. The Gulf War Recession, which was July 1990 to March 1991. At the start of the 90s, the U.S. went through a short 8-month recession, partly caused by spiking oil prices during the first Gulf War. Sound familiar? Okay. So can you predict a recession? You can't really predict a recession, but you can look at different factors, and there are determining factors that's in here. According to Forbes, consumer spending is the main driver of the U.S. economy. If surveys show a sustained drop in consumer confidence, it could be a sign of impending trouble for the economy. How does a recession affect you? How does a recession affect us? First of all, let's talk about the feds. Do you know who the feds are and what the Fed does? The Federal Reserve is the central bank of the United States. It was formed by Congress in 1913 to help make the national economy and financial system safer and more stable. But just what does the Fed do? The moves the Fed makes influence how much interest you will earn on a savings account, CD, or money market fund. Changes in monetary policy often have an effect on stock prices, Monetary policy influences interest rates on auto loans and credit cards. Bond markets are influenced, which in turn will influence the interest you pay when you apply for a mortgage. The Fed can affect your job situation. Changes in interest rates influence when businesses expand and hire or cut costs and fire. It's important that we, as crypto investors, figure out a way to where we can create a hedge against recession and make sure that we are protected in the case of a recession. The Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System voted unanimously to raise the interest rate paid on reserve balances to 0.4% effective March 17, 2022. According to bankrate.com, consumers may soon see the most aggressive Federal Reserve in decades. Expectations are growing that the U.S. Central Bank will hike interest rate this year by the most since 2005 as inflation hits a 40-year high. The ultimate risk, however, is that the U.S. Central Bank does more harm than good to an economy that's already experiencing its worst inflation since '82. Controlling inflation is top of mind for federal officials, but the danger is that the Fed could tighten its way into a slowdown, slamming the brakes on the economy too quickly and zapping up too much liquidity all at once. So listen, there's so much that can be talked about, as it relates to the economy. And I'm specifically talking about the U.S. market. I'm sure every country in the world has their problems and their issues. But it's important that you get into crypto so that you can create a hedge against inflation. And so get your money in a place where you are collecting passive income. PancakeSwap, which is on the Binance Smart Chain, you can see the various APY payouts depending on the coins that you choose. Titano, swap, win, play, and earn fixed 102% APY. You also have Pasoka, another DeFi project where you can get high return. Now, there are many out there. None of this is financial advice. You choose what works for you. There's no way in a central bank that you would get that. So what do you do to prepare? Evaluate your finances. That's what everyone has to do. That's something that we should be doing often. And so pay attention to where your money is. Put your money in places to where it's actually benefiting you and making you money. So that is the way, because at the end of the day, you really cannot control the economy, and you can't control where the economy goes. You can only control what you do. And so passive income, decentralized financing, DeFi, check out the other videos that we have. Stay tuned, stay up to date, stay subscribed, turn your notifications on, ask questions in the comments, join us on our Discord. Let's talk about it, okay? The Discord channel is for users who are beginning and advanced. And there are some of you who've been out there and who's seasoned in this game, and you have a wealth of information that you can share. Hey, come on to the Discord, join the Discord, and give us that wealth of knowledge that you have. There's someone out there that you can help. And as a beginner, you can know that your questions are we're here and we're ready to answer your questions. We're all here to help. We're a community. We're for the community.